This man's measured my bumper height, my frame height, every height that exists.
See how big that truck is?
At least we have an audience.
Probably didn't get you for a park or blocking a handicap zone.
Right.
They ain't over it yet.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
Caught again.
Okay, so if we move, are you going to do anything?
No, I'm just here to make you guys move from right here.
You're here
Block
telling
it.
us to move.
Right.
Hey,
I'm telling you to move from
Okay.
here to the back.
Okay, so what are you gonna do if I-
y'all leave the back parking lot? That's on y'all.
Right.
I told them not to leave where they're sitting.
Okay, so if I pull out onto the main road and go to my condo, I mean,
Well,
are you gonna pull me
I'm
over?
telling you to move the trucks to the back parking lot. That's what
Okay.
I'm telling you to do.
Is the guy driving the middle truck left? He said, in his own words, "Fuck it, tow it." So he's from Chicago, so I can't tell you what to do with his truck.
Okay,
He
they
drove
drove down. I'll get a record here for that then.
Well, the state trooper told them not to move it.
We told him to come back,
Spot
but
where it's set.
he left.
Well, this is private property.
Yeah, no,
That's-
he
I know.
knew that too.
We knew that.
And
But the state trooper said, don't move them where they're sitting.
Again, I wasn't here for that.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're just talking to you.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
You
That's
seem
okay.
nice. They were.
Everybody's on video too.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're
Oh,
not
it's the
trying
best
to be
thing ever.
disrespectful to you
Yeah,
at all.
just question.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just trying
We
to
don't
figure
know
out-
the law, and you do. That's why we're asking you.
Because
You know what I mean?
It's just kind of nonsense. Because if I was doing something stupid, pull me over, give me a ticket. But dude, I'm sitting in traffic, and I'm trying to, like, the only reason I came from Kentucky to come to the truck show, because obviously it's revenue for this town, and that's what it draws for. Rod Run draws money for this town. Why would I freaking be a victim of just sitting there and not doing shit? And I came down, and I spent $3,000 since I've been here.
And there's so many other trucks, bigger or just as big, and they don't pull them over. Just us.
You could sit right here, and in 5 minutes.
I bet, yeah, in 5 minutes I could find
Yeah.
2 or 3
Yeah, they're in line.
that surpass frame height laws. I mean, it's, but then we're over here not allowed to move, and
I
we go to
work for
jail.
the city of Pigeon Forge.
Absolutely.
I can only cite you for municipal codes. The state can write you state tickets. They
Right.
have more power than we do.
Right. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Justin Hawk Smith channel. This is going to be kind of a quick video, kind of a random video. It's truck related, but there's not really going to be much truck content in here. Actually, I don't think there will be any, unless I just throw like a random video at the beginning or something. So as you all seen by the title below this video or above this video, we've got to go to court tomorrow. I don't know how I worded it or anything. I haven't thought about that yet. But we are going to court because of the frame height on my truck. So we went to Rod Run. Me, Gabe Farrell, and Colt all got frame height tickets. Pictures are probably popping up on the screen now of our trucks and us pulled over and whatever. Apparently it's Tennessee state law that the frame of the truck can only be 28 inches or less, 28 inches high off the ground from the center of the steering wheel on the frame rail. And then I think there's a bumper height law as well, but it's completely legal in Kentucky. So that's kind of where I have some confusion. And not only that, but like if I was there in Tennessee at some random day or something, you know, just on vacation or whatever, which I was on vacation, but like we had a destination and it's not like we were doing anything stupid. I'm going to go get my ticket here in just a second and show you all, just so nobody's in the comments saying you all were doing burnouts or rolling coal or reckless driving. We were 100% sitting. Anybody that's been to Rod Runs knows how the traffic is. We were in the far right lane, which is where everybody cruises, and there's literally, you know, thousands of people on the side of the road in lawn chairs, you know, literally sitting there watching trucks, cars, vans, homemade vehicles. There are vehicles that are literally fully custom made and tagged and titled or whatever and on the road. Lifted, vehicles with no doors, vehicles with no roofs, no seat belts, no windows. There's all kinds of stuff, and I'm not justifying, even though it does justify and make it sound a little bit weird that my truck with over a $20,000 lift kit on it, that's perfectly safe, probably more durable going down the road than a normal F-250 gets a ticket or whatever. And if it was a payable ticket to where I could just pay it and roll on, I would probably be okay with it. I understand, you know, the government wants their money and stuff like that. It is what it is. But the fact that it is supposedly a moving violation, I really haven't got a straight answer on that or not. So whether that's going to go against my insurance and take a point off my license or 2 points or whatever it is, Whether it's going to do anything like that to my license and insurance, I'm unaware at this moment. Maybe they'll be able to tell me in court tomorrow if I do get, have to pay the ticket fully and it goes on my record and whatever. I don't know how all that works. We'll find out tomorrow. But as far as the ticket goes, first time, whenever we got pulled over, he said that he wasn't going to tell us how much it was, but it was over $600 for one ticket. One violation, over $600. Just strictly frame height. And I'm going to go get the ticket here in just a second. It is only frame height on the ticket. It gets impounded. So I'm actually going to crop that out and put that in the beginning of the video, guys. I was talking about this at the end of the video, but I wanted to go ahead and put it right now. The second offense, like if I go to Tennessee, anywhere in Tennessee, it's not just Pigeon Forge. If I go anywhere in Tennessee and get pulled over again and the cop writes the frame height or whatever, your second offense is arrestable. Your second offense will suspend your license for 1 year. Your second offense will suspend the registration on the truck for 1 year. So that's another crazy thing. But back what I was saying. So a little bit over $600 is what he said that it was going to be. He said that he couldn't tell us exactly. So a couple days after Rod Run goes by, I called down there and they told me 514 or like 548 or something. It was in like the high fives. And then I called back again like 2 or 3 weeks later, because this was like, back at Rod Run, like this bamboozled my brain. And so I had called back a couple weeks later, and they said 514 the second time that I called. The first time it was like 568. No, it was 548 or 568. I can't remember right off. And then they had told Colt like 4 something. So I was like, whatever. They don't really know what they're doing. I called the state police in Knoxville, like that post. And the state policeman answered the phone. He was like, what? Like I've never heard of that. Like I'm unaware of that. Had no idea about the ticket. And had no idea about that ordinance or law or whatever. I reckon it's a state law. So the state trooper that I talked to at that post had no idea about the state law. Which, that's fine. A little piddly law like that, I'm fully, supportive of good law enforcement officers. Good ones. And the person that wrote me a ticket, I was not a big fan of. And doing YouTube and stuff for a living, it pays to have that footage. And whenever we got pulled over and stuff, my friend at the time, Charles, was actually videoing, and he looked at Charles and he said, you need to get back or whatever. And Charles was probably 8 to 10 feet away. It's a traffic violation. He had already talked to us for probably, I don't know, 10 minutes, 8 to 12 minutes, somewhere on there. He knew that we, didn't have any weapons on us or anything like that. Like we weren't going to hurt anyone. You literally pulled over 3 people that are pretty much all under the age of 21 years old. Colt's like 30, I think. So me and Gabe are both under 22. I'm 21. I don't know how old Gabe is, honestly. I think he's like 20, 21, 22. I don't know. But anyway, obviously we weren't going to like do anything bad to the cop or anything, and Charles was literally just filming everything that he had to say. And he was like, get back or whatever, and I was like, well, is it illegal for him to film? And he was like, it's not. My arm, is it even recording? Oh. So he was like, he's too close, he's in my peripheral. I don't remember what he said. He just made up something. And so I was like, well, it's not illegal to film you. And he's like, yeah, but he's so close or whatever. And I was like, well, what is the legal distance, like how close he can be and film? Because, I don't have the best microphone on my camera or whatever. And he said, however close I say that he is. And I was like, okay. So I guess you just make up the law now. And he just didn't say anything else to me. He had already wrote the ticket. So before you get down there and like, oh, yeah, use a smart aleck to the cop or whatever. Super, super nice. Me, Colt, and Gabe, very, very respectful. One of the officers was talking about how he watches our TikTok or whatever. It's like, it was that I guess, I don't know if he was having a bad day or whatever. Shouldn't let it affect his duty or whatever. And there was probably 75 plus people lined up there, because we were literally on the strip. Like everybody that was in lawn chairs and everything came over there. They were all booing at the cops and telling them, like there were literally people doing burnouts on the strip right in front of us. And the cops wouldn't even look that way. They were too busy writing frame height tickets for us. And anyway, so that's like a little bit of a gist of it. I just wanted to get on here and talk about it, and we'll just see where tomorrow goes. I don't want to get on here and we'll just ramble on all night long. But it is completely legal in my state, so I'm hoping if I just go there maybe I could get away with paying court costs. Maybe I could just pay the whole ticket, court costs, the whole 9 yards. I don't care to. And maybe they could not put it on my record if it does go on my record, but it'll be content for me to go down there and film some of it. And I just think that it'll be good for the channel, and it'll be someone, I'm not really going to say that I'm standing up for the truck community, but it'll be someone that I'll be able to go down there, and if the judge will let me, you know, ask questions about it, or maybe try to justify the fact that, you know, if my truck was as high off the ground as it is, and it didn't have the cradle with the drop down cradle and the 4-link arms and everything, you know, they always try to pull the card like, well, what if a car goes underneath you? Well, I can kind of understand that, but what if you get T-boned by a semi? It's like, you know, you take a risk of dying no matter what kind of vehicle you're in. I think there's a law on like no lift blocks in the front suspension, like bigger than 4 inches, which is on like leaf sprung trucks. I'm all for that, I guess. I mean, I have 10-inch blocks in the rear, but I have traction bars. You know, I don't know. It's a mess, but anyway, my truck is perfectly safe going down the road. 100% perfectly safe going down the road. If somebody wants to T-bone me, they're going to hit my 4-link arms, cross member, whatever. It's not really any higher off the ground than a normal vehicle. Obviously, if I rear end somebody, yeah, I would go over top of them. The axle is still going to hit into everything. Like, you know, there's a million different things that can happen, and that's just part of like driving your vehicle around. You can get, you know, you could get hit by a semi T-bone doing 60 miles an hour. You could drive underneath, you know, like if a car T-boned a tanker truck, you know, they're decapitated. That's kind of like what they're pulling with the lifted truck thing. And I don't know, I don't see it. I don't agree with it. You know, this is America, so I have the right to not agree with it. But apparently I don't know. You know, it's a law, so we'll figure out what happens. Either I pay the ticket, you know, it goes on my record, or maybe I don't pay the ticket. Maybe they realize that, you know, it's a little bit far-fetched. Like I said, if I was going to Tennessee, just joyriding my big lifted truck around, they want to write me a ticket for that, you know, I would accept it. But I was down there for a show that multiple officials of Pigeon Forge and places like that advertise, and, you know, helping revenue for Pigeon Forge and generating revenue. Rod Run brings in so much revenue for Pigeon Forge and Rod Run. That's why they talk about canceling it and they never do. You know, I guess there's just a lot of Karens out in the world that want to cancel it or whatever it may be. I don't know, but we're going to see what happens tomorrow. I just wanted to get on here and ramble a little bit and just talk about court tomorrow. I'm not really nervous, not really excited. I don't really know what's going to happen, you know, because if they say, you know, are you guilty or not guilty? Like, yeah, I'm guilty because my frame is 38 or 39 inches off the ground. The legal limit's 28. Yes, I'm guilty, but in Kentucky, I'm not guilty, you know, because that's not even a law in Kentucky. So, I don't know. Maybe they'll just cut me a break since it's my first offense. I have a clean driving record, never have any criminal history, nothing. Literally, you know. And what sucks is if you all have been following the channel, you know, watching the truck build that I've been doing, pretty much all the money that I'm making off of that is going towards the ticket. So it's like, you have me over here working my ass off and paying for the ticket, you know, doing manual labor or whatever, and doing stuff that I enjoy just to give the money back to them because my frame is too high off the ground because I went to a truck show, which is what I built my truck for. So it's just, I don't know. It's retarded, it's a mess, but we'll figure it out tomorrow. No matter what happens, no big deal. Pay the ticket, roll on. It's not an issue to pay the ticket. I just hate that, like, the second offense, I don't even know if I've said that yet, but the second offense, they suspend your license for 1 year. They suspend the registration on the truck for 1 year, and supposedly they take you to jail. It's an arrestable offense for the second time. Hey guys, it's kind of a mess. It's kind of dumb. I don't know. There's pros and cons. You know, it's America. Everybody has their own opinion. You don't have to feel the way that I do. I still respect you guys. You all can still respect me. You know, everybody has their own opinion. Like I said, T-bone my truck, T-bone a tanker truck. They're both on the road, you know. And I would assume, you know, T-boning a truck full of gasoline would be a little bit worse than T-boning, you know, the lifted 6.0. But anyway, we'll figure it out tomorrow. I appreciate you all for watching this. Don't forget, get down there, click that subscribe button to find out what happens at court. I'll be making an update video, so this will be part 1, then I'll do part 2. And hopefully, either way, we'll be at Rod Run. So if y'all are watching this and you're from Rod Runs or from Pigeon Forge or whatever, I will see you all at Rod Runs. I had a bunch of y'all that came up and talked to me at the Smoky Mountain Truck Fest, so that was awesome. And yeah, I appreciate y'all for watching. Always remember, everybody starts as a nobody. Don't forget, get down there, click that subscribe button, like, leave me a comment below what y'all think's gonna happen, or any opinions on safety of lifted vehicles, whatever. Leave a comment of any kind. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.